Okay, now we are studying reversible adiabatic process, or it is also known as isentropic process. Why it is known as isentropic process? Because entropy is remaining constant in this particular process. And what is entropy? It will come later when we will start second law of thermodynamics. So for now, you should know that reversible adiabatic process is also known as isentropic process. And adiabatic process, already we know that if in the process there is no such kind of heat interaction with system with the surroundings, then that process is known as adiabatic process. And if that adiabatic process is executed reversibly, then it is known as reversible adiabatic process. Here we have written 2 points. Consider a gas contained in the cylinder piston assembly as a system. This kind of system I have drawn several times, that's why I haven't drawn here also. So it's a cylinder piston assembly. Inside the cylinder some gas is being stored. The cylinder wall and the piston act as an adiabatic walls. That means we are considering the cylinder wall as well as the piston is acting like a adiabatic wall. That means there is no heat interaction inside the cylinder to the surroundings. Suppose the gas is allowed to expand from initial pressure P1 to final pressure P2. So the gas is being expanded from a pressure level P1 initially to the final pressure level P2. But the heat interaction is not happening there. So that way the dq is nothing but 0 here. So for such a process we can write that dw, that means the amount of work done if the change in volume is occurring, that is pdv. And from first law we know that, from first law of thermodynamics we know that du is nothing but dq minus dw, and here it will be 0 because there is no heat interaction system to surroundings, that's why dq will be 0. So that way I can write du is nothing but equals to minus pdv, because dw is nothing but pdv. And for ideal gas we know, for ideal gas we already know from our childhood knowledge that pv, I am writing it in small v. So pv equals to RT. That means V is specific volume, mind it. It is specific volume because I have written in small letter. That means capital V, that is nothing but capital V by M. Okay. And we also know that internal energy is a function of temperature. That I have used in the previous video also, that internal energy always deals with the molecular behavior and the molecules getting excited or gain some energy if some temperature increase is there, and if the reverse temperature is dropped, then the energy will be dropped also for the molecules. So that way we can write that internal energy is a function of temperature. Okay. And also we know that du can be written like cv into dt. That temperature, that expression also we have developed earlier. Okay. So now we also already expressed du is nothing but minus pdv. So if we take that expression du equals to minus pdv, so that way I can write integration of du is nothing but integration of minus pdv. Or if we explain with a specific internal energy, so that I can write small du is nothing but small pdv, that is in specific term. Integration of specific internal energy, change in specific internal energy can be written here from I am taking. Okay. Always p will be capital because pressure cannot be expressed with specific term. So that way I can write that integration of cv dt is nothing but equals to minus p into dv, because this expression is expressed substituted over here. That means du is substituted by Cv dt. So that way I can write, if you continue that expression, I can after integration I can write like this: Cv, if I put a boundary limit t1 to t2 over here and v1 to v2 over here, then I can write, or if we don't put a integration limit for volume, it will not be very problematic for you. So t2 minus t1 Cv, t2 minus t1 is equals to minus p into dv. Sorry, it should be small v, and p dv is nothing but specific work. That's why I can write it by small w. So from there I am getting a relation: small w is nothing but Cv t1 minus t2. Just I have swap between t1 and t2. That's why that minus is getting eliminated. So from here I can write that specific work done, that small w is nothing but specific work done. Specific work done is equals to Cv into T1 minus T2. That means initial temperature minus final temperature. Okay. So also for ideal gas, you also can write that specific enthalpy, that is small h, also can be written by small u plus p into small v. This expression already we developed. The specific enthalpy for an ideal gas can be written like small u plus p into v, and that p into v is nothing but flow work. That already we developed for in our previous video. So that can be written like this: u plus r into t. Because for ideal gas law we can see, we have already seen that ideal gas can be written like Pv equals to RT. Mind it, it is small v, that's why P into small v can be write like RT. And also we have developed that specific heat at constant pressure, that we have developed a expression, that is dH by dt at pressure equals to constant. That expression we have developed: specific heat at constant pressure, change in enthalpy with change in temperature, and that Cp can be written equals to Cv plus R, since Cp minus Cv is equals to R. How that relation can be derived, it will be coming later for you. So for now you should know that Cp minus Cv equals to R. From here I can replace Cp equals to Cv plus R, and that expression I have used over here. And how it can be derived, I will explain it later. And also ratio of specific heat, that means specific heat at constant pressure and specific heat at constant volume. These two terms, ratio of specific heats, and they can be written like Cp by Cv, and this is expressed by gamma. This is a Latin alphabet which is expressed by gamma, written like gamma. The expression and symbol is look like this. Okay. So that gamma is nothing but the ratio of two specific heat. Specific heat at constant pressure to specific heat at constant volume is expressed by gamma. Now if we use these two relation, Cp minus Cv equals to R, if you substitute that relation over here, so how it looks, that Cp can be replaced by Cv plus R divided by Cv equals to gamma. So how it gives, that 1 plus R by Cv is nothing but equals to gamma. From there I can write Cv, if you just swipe that relation, it will give you that Cv equals to R by gamma minus 1. That is the relation what we can build from here. Just take this part at the right side, so 1 minus gamma will be there, just reciprocal it, so it will give you this kind of relation for you, that Cv equals to R by gamma minus 1. So from there we can finally find, from here we can find, if we go in this side, finally we can write that work done or specific work done, that particular relation we are coming, specific work done Cv into T1 minus T2. So Cv, if you replace by this one, so that can be written T1 minus T2, and Cv is replaced by R by gamma minus 1. So that finally that expression RT1 can be written like P1 V1 minus RT2 P2 V2, and it is divided by gamma minus 1. That is the final expression what we can build from there. So finally we can see, for a reversible adiabatic process, the amount of work done can be written like W equals to P1 V1 minus P2 V2 by gamma minus 1. How that P1 V1 is coming? Because we know that RT1 is nothing but P1 V1. That means for ideal gas I can write P1 V1, it is small v, is equals to RT1, and as well as P2 V2 is nothing but RT2. So that thing is implemented over here. That's why RT1 can be written like P1 V1, and RT2 can be written like P2 V2 divided by gamma minus 1. Mind it, this expression Cp minus Cv equals to R, how that expression comes, that derivation I will give you later. Now here we can see a special characteristic for reversible adiabatic process. So by this particular derivation we can see over here that how that particular equation we write for reversible adiabatic process, Pv to the power gamma equals to constant, how that equation actually comes or derived for this particular case. So already we know from first law of thermodynamics that du, that is change in internal energy, is equals to d cut q minus d cut w, and if the process is reversible adiabatic, obviously the dq will be 0 here, no heat interaction system to surrounding. So that way we can write du is nothing but equals to minus dw, or rather say I can write it like this way, minus p dv. And in this particular derivation we have seen earlier that change in internal energy also can be written like Cv into dt. That means change in internal energy also can be expressed by Cv into dt. I have excluded that m term here because I am taking the total change in internal energy. I am not considering here specific internal energy change. So that way if we exclude the mass, that means that is the change in total internal energy. So Cv dt can be written like minus pdv. So minus pdv can be written like, if we use the gas law over here, so it can be written like minus RT by small v dv. Already we know from the gas law that is PV equals to RT. It is small v, that means specific volume. So that can be written like this way, Cv dt equals to minus RT by v dv. and if we shuffle that particular equation that like this way, so it can be written like this: dt by t, so t is taken at the denominator side of the left hand side, minus r by cv, that cv is coming at the right side, r by cv into dv by v. It's a just a cross multiplication at both the sides. I am taking t term with dt, and cv is a constant value, it will come at the right side denominator, and dv by v will be the second part of the right hand side. Now if we do the integration with a boundary limit here t2 to t1 and here v2 to v1, or rather say t1 to t2 boundary limit for temperature and v1 to v2 boundary limit for volume. So after integration it will look like this. I am just making a step jump over here. ln t2 by t1, I think it will be easy to understand for you. So after putting the boundary limit, after integration it will look like this: natural log of t2 by t1 minus r by cv will be there, and here also a natural log of v2 by v1 will come there. So it is basically after integration I am taking that line. So just a little bit of step jumping here. So this equation is look like this one, and already in our previous video we have used a relation. We know, I can conclude here that cv is equals to r by gamma minus 1. That expression already we have used in our previous lecture. So if you just put that expression over here also, so then we can write that equation like this, that ln t2 by t1, so r by cv can be written like r by cv gamma minus 1, so minus gamma minus 1 ln v2 by v1. Just we have substituted that value over there, so it will come like this. So finally this part, if I shuffle that right side, it can be written like this way also. See, ln v2 by v1, that minus gamma minus 1 I have taken as a power of it. It can be done for natural log, I can do it like this. So left hand side and right hand side, both the sides log is there, so that expression can be now be simplified like this way: t2 by t1. If we just shuffle that numerator and denominator, then that minus at that exponential part or the index power part, it will be reversed. So that way I can write v1 by v2, just I have reciprocate that numerator to denominator, so that this minus sign will be eliminated from there, so it will be gamma minus 1. If it is difficult to understand, then comment on it, I will clarify it. It's a simple relationship among the logarithmic mathematical expression, that ln t2 by t1 is equals to ln v2 by v1 whole to the power minus gamma minus 1. Then you can always equate t2 by t1 is equals to, just I am reciprocating or reversing that numerator and denominator, then that minus will come and that minus will nullify that minus of the exponent. So that way that expression can be built over here: t2 by t1 is equals to v1 by v2 whole to the power gamma minus 1. Okay, so from there I am coming in this side. So from there I can write that expression can be written like this also: t2 into v2 gamma minus 1 by t1 into v1 gamma minus 1 is equals to 1. Just I have done a cross multiplication, so it will be look like this. Okay, so from there again we know that for a gas law, ideal gas, I can write PV equals to RT. for ideal gas that we know very well. Okay, so from there I can write, since from here I can write T2 by T1. T2 by T1 can be written like P2 V2 by P1 V1, because R is basically a constant. So always T2 by T1 can be written like this way, since R is constant. Then R will be getting cancelled. So P1 V1 equals to R T1 and P2 V2 equals to R T2. So if we make a ratio of T2 by T1, it will be look like this, P2 V2 by P1 V1. Now if we just substitute that ratio over here, then what it will give you? Just put the T2 by T1, that means P2 by V2, P2 V2 by P1 V1, put this value over here. So how it looks now from here, it will come like this. T2 by T1 is nothing but P2 V2 by P1 V1, and V2 to the power gamma minus 1 already existing there, and denominator V1 to the power gamma minus 1 is also existing there, that is equals to 1. Just make a simplification of that particular expression. So what it will give? It will give you P2 V2 to the power gamma minus 1 and plus 1 will be cancelled, so it will be look like this. It's a very easy one, equals to 1. So what does this mean? That means you can write this general expression like this: P V2 to the power gamma is equals to constant. Why it is so? Because from here you can see that P2 V2 to the power gamma is equals to P1 V1 to the power gamma. So for state point 1 to state point 2, if the process is moving, then you can see the P2 to V2 to the power gamma is making a same value with P1 V1 to the power gamma. So that way I can write from there that PV to the power gamma equals to constant, while they are giving the same value. So that is the actual law what we can see for a reversible adiabatic process, and already we have used this formula to find out the work done for reversible adiabatic process in our module number 1. So that point of time a question obviously will come in your mind that from where that particular PV to the power gamma equals to constant you are bringing, sir. So that is the actual derivation, that by this way we can generate a general equation, which equation is basically applicable for reversible adiabatic process, and it is expressed by PV to the power gamma equals to constant. Mind it, this V is specific volume, that means volume for unit mass. Okay, now here we can see for ideal gas how the relationship will develop. Okay, so that's why I have written here ideal gas model and relationships. So first we should express that what is ideal gas. So we can say in short, we are not going to elaborate regarding ideal gas. The ideal gas is physically, we can say physically a gas can be ideal only when the intermolar forces, that means the intermolecular attraction forces, intermolar forces are weak. That means the intermolecular attraction forces are very weak physically. Now that particular scenario only occurs if the pressure is very low and the temperature is very high. That point of time that particular scenario occurs. So I should conclude that thing also. This usually happens in low pressure high temperature. In this two condition, that particular gas can be considered like ideal gas. Okay, so already we know that for ideal gas we know that this particular relationship can be used, PV equals to RT. It is small v, specific volume. And we already also know that internal, for let us say specific internal energy, small u. Specific internal energy is a function of temperature. It is also for ideal gas. We know that specific internal energy is a function of temperature. That expression already we have used several times. And while the specific enthalpy, we have derived the expression for specific enthalpy, and that is small h is equals to small u plus P into small v. And here we can see that this one is a function of temperature. Specific internal energy is a function of temperature. So from there I can say that specific enthalpy also a function of temperature. Why? Because it is dependent on internal energy plus flow work, and here that specific internal energy is a function of temperature. So if this parameter function of temperature, then obviously the specific enthalpy also will be the function of temperature, isn't it? So we can say that specific enthalpy is also a function of temperature. So these things we can draw down for a ideal gas. Okay, now we can see now that from our earlier videos I have used that Cv I have expressed by du by dt. Cv means specific heat at constant volume. It is just expressed as change in internal energy to change in temperature. And also we have used Cp, that is dH by dt. That expression also we have derived. Now from there, if I substitute over here, then what will come? That d of small u plus P into V by dt, isn't it? Just h, or rather say small h, is replaced by u plus Pv. So if we continue that expression, Cp is equals to d of small u plus Pv can be written like Pv equals to RT. So I am writing that thing RT by dt. So there is no problem at all, because Pv equals to RT, that we know already. That's why Pv can be replaced by RT. So from there I can see that Cp can be written like du by dt plus R, because dt will be cancelled. So finally I am getting Cp equals to du by dt is nothing but Cv plus R. So that is the final expression what we are getting, Cp minus Cv, that is equals to R. So that is the final expression. This expression is frequently used in thermodynamics. Lots of time for solving the problem we have to use this expression, but a question obviously will come in our mind that how that expression is coming. So that is the actual derivation. If we know the Cv expression and Cp expression, then from there that Cp minus Cv that equals to R, it can be derived very easily. So R is nothing but the universal gas constant, and also we can write that ratio of two specific heat, that is known as specific heat ratio. Specific heat ratio, it is expressed by gamma, and it is written by gamma equals to Cp by Cv. Okay, so Cp equals to Cv by R. Cp equals to Cv by R, that expression, if I pull down over here, that Cp, if I replace, from there I can write that Cp is written by gamma into Cv, and if we put this expression, if we put that expression over here, then what it will give you, that Cp is replaced by gamma into Cv, and that is equals to Cv plus R. So this way, Cp equals to gamma into Cv, put this value over there. Now from there I am getting this kind of relation, gamma into Cv equals to Cv minus R. So take Cv as a common, so Cv value can be written like R by gamma minus 1. That will be the value of Cv. That is also a very important relation we use frequently. And similarly, if we find, instead of Cp, if we substitute the value of Cv there, then we also can find that Cp can be written like gamma into R divided by gamma minus 1. In a similar fashion, here we have substituted the value of Cp on this particular equation. So instead of Cp, if you put the value of Cv on that particular same equation, then you can find this expression of for Cp also. So for an ideal gas, these relationships we are going to use frequently for solving different numericals, like this one, Cp minus Cv equals to R, this one, first one. Then Cv can be expressed by R by gamma minus 1, and Cp also can be expressed by gamma R by gamma minus 1. So that gamma value also will be changing for the type of gas, and it is for air, if we are considering, then gamma will be 1.4, and obviously the gamma value will be different for different kind of gases. So these are the things what we can conclude or derive for an ideal gas.